welcome to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name's Carl. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you consider subscribing so we can help the channel grow. Right, before we start, I just want to say that this is probably going to be the last inbox review for a while because I can't afford to get any more kits at the moment. I've got quite a few kits that I can work on building. So if you just write in the comments when you prefer the videos to go up, either midweek, which would be Wednesdays, or over the weekend, and then I'll put the builds up on those days that you guys prefer. Right then, today what we're going to do is have a look at this Trumpeter kit. As you know, I'm doing a Panzer II at the moment, which I'm really enjoying. So it's a little bit of a break from doing some aircraft, even though it's only my like 6th model. But I also saw this, and it was half the price it should be, and it came in shrink wrapping and everything. So that was brilliant, yeah. And it's the Trumpeter Type 23 Frigate HMS Montrose in 1/700th scale. And surprisingly, what I was after actually was a 1/350th scale, but I picked the wrong one actually, so that it was a bit of a cock up. But this was half the price of what they should be anyway, and there's not much difference in price between the 350 and the 700, which is really weird. But anyway, so we've got this little tiny ship, and it'll probably be a while before I get to it because I'm waiting on a magnifying glass with a light on it, which will help me see the pieces better. But we'll delve in and have a quick look anyway. The artwork on here is pretty cool. So actually I'm pretty happy with that. Right, yeah, it's a bit of a tight fit. Right, lid comes off. Inside here you get a bit of gumph from Trumpeter. Gives you basically some of the stuff that they've got going. Looks very interesting actually. Means I'm sort of getting into armour at the moment, and that Panther as well looks like interesting. And there's Montrose. Yeah, so they just give you sort of like a little fly sheet to see what they've got. The next thing in here is a colour scheme, which is basic really if you think about it. Like warships aren't very like colourful, especially modern day ones. So you basically just got like battleship grey, which is a light grey, normally used by ARN. You've got a dark grey, which actually should be textured. The actual deck paint on warships is textured, so you don't go skidding about the deck. Then you've got like anti-fouling paint underneath, which is sort of like a red oxide sort of colour, and then you've got the boot top in the black line there, which actually on a larger ship, I might even have a go on this one. It's really worth weathering that, because when the ship's sat alongside, it just oil and everything sticks to the side of the boot top, and you get algae growth from there and all sorts. I mean, you don't get that massive growth, but you do get staining along the boot top and quite a lot. So that's a key weathering point really. It really stands out. If you can get, that should not be pristine black. It will be actually quite dirty. Right, they give you the colours that you need to do it. Say it's aircraft grey, but it's just light grey. I mean, it's simple as that really. And then your cocoa brown, which is they're saying is this boot topping, not boot topping, sorry, the anti-fouling paint, which is more of a, it's like a red oxide, mahogany, sort of red oxidey sort of colour. Dark for the deck, black for like top of the funnel and stuff like that. And there's areas at the top of the main mast and that which are black. Gold, red, white. We'll figure out where they're going to be, because there's little bits and pieces that they want painting that colour. Actually, I like that. I do like this colour call out sheet actually, because it's nice and glossy, nice and thick in one piece, and it's all full colour, which is great. So I really do like that. Okay, next we have the instructions. I mean, there's not a lot really to it. You just get the usual clean up, icons, applying decals. So it's pretty simple really. On the first page you just got a list of the sprues. So you've got the hull, all the bits and pieces. There's a bit of photo-etched in there, decals, and the glass, or the clear part should I say. Right, and then you move on to basically part 1, which is simple. You're just putting the hull together. So it's like the deck, upper deck against the hull, put the bulbous bow on, shafts, props, rudder. Fairly simple. H3, so he's telling you to put this stern on, which, you know, the quarterdeck. And there's 2 of them in the sprue, if I remember, because I've opened these sprues once before, because I've tried to record this and the dogs went banzai and it just completely went to rats. Okay, so as soon as you've done that, you're adding then things to the upper deck, like the Mark 8 turret, the harpoon launchers, vertical launch Seawolf, capstans, blast shields for the harpoon. You've got some PE to go on there as well. Then you've got portions of the upper deck. Obviously this is the bridge, and yep, so this is the bridge makeup, nav radar, stuff like that and that. Then you've got the main mast with some PE on there. Again, more and more PE for the main mast, which is going to be interesting at this scale. Then that goes on top of the superstructure for the bridge. Then we go on to midships superstructure with the funnel. Then it moves on to the rear mast, then the hangar, then putting it all on the ship, then adding the ancillary equipment, you know, just a little bit in pieces all the way down. So this is going to be quite interesting. You know, it'll be I'm definitely going to need that magnifying glass. And there, just finishing it off. Right, these masts, unless you thinking of saying you're alongside, I wouldn't even bother them. I mean it's okay, but the jack, unless you're actually alongside or at anchor, you never ever fly the jack. And the ensign, again, basically when it's sea, you don't fly the ensign either. It's normally on the main mast. You get like the ensign up there when you're at sea. So that's normally flown alongside and along at anchor, or on special occasions or something like that. But it's very rare you ever fly the ensign while underway. Right then the stand, and then putting the links together. There's 2 links actually on here, and I'm not sure whether the Montrose or Type 23s in general carry 2 links. Right, so that's the instructions. So we'll just move on to the parts now. So I'll just move the box out of the way so you can get a better look. Right then, the hull comes in this. As you can see, I've opened it, so like I said, I've tried to record this once already. And comes in that little baggie with a nice bit of foam wrap around it. And it's just basic hull. Obviously you've got to put the stern on there. That's quite well detailed. Might need a little bit of clean up, but not much. Feels nice and smooth. You've got the bilge keel here, stabilizer there. Obviously free area aft where you've got the 2 props, 2 rudders and 2 shafts. And about here is where the stern gland is. That's where the shaft go in. And there's actually detail. I mean, you can't even see it really, but there is actually slight detail on the hull there, which shows you the positions where you actually attach them. And that bit there and that bit there, they feel like sprue gates. So I don't know if this was actually originally 2 pieces. And actually you can see through there, so that might have to be dealt with as well. So I think it might be it. I don't know what caused that. And there's a bulbous bar goes on there, and that's pretty simple. Then we move on, if I can get this wrapped tight enough, because I do tend to fight putting things back in bags when they're not simple. Oh, look at that. Right, then you got the upper deck. So it looks okay. Nice little bit of texture there. Obviously the hangar goes here, midships here, then the bridge. Here's vertical launch Seawolf, harpoons here, Mark 8 turret there, breakwater here, the holes for the 2 capstans, get a bit of shine there. So you've got bollards here, bollards here, bollards here, bollards here. So you've got six sets of bollards here. Obviously there'll be a lot more on the real thing, because see, that'd be the head rope, that'd be the forespring. You'd have a forward breast there, aft breast here, back spring, stern rope. So there'll be more sets of bollards than that normally. Plus you'd have fair leads and everything, because you don't really directly go to the bollard. All the ropes go from the bollard through a fair lead to the J. Right, but yeah, it looks simple enough. Can't see anything that's dramatic about that. Right. It's just size more than anything with me, with my Mr. Magoo eyes. A couple of little baggies here. In this little baggie we have vertical launch Seawolf. Not sure actually, I'll have to have a quick look there. And this is, I'm sure this sits, this might be the lower half. Oh yeah, you can see the bridge wings there. So this is like the forward part of the superstructure, so obviously the bridge goes on top, because that looks like a bridge wing to me. I'll soon tell you when I put my glasses on. I have to confirm it, but well, maybe not. That looks like a bridge wing, but possibly not. Anyway, that's a vertical launch Seawolf there. Nice little bit of detail in there. See it there? You've got little sprue gates kicking around here. Yeah. So this is obviously sprue gate there. So obviously going to have to clean these sprue gates off. Okay. In this one we have, basically I think it's the rest of the superstructure. That's a hanger. Yeah. Sprue gate there. So they took us off the sprue for you. Mainmast. Actually, it's a funnel. Hanger doors. So no, not hanger doors. Unless it goes in like that. No, no, it's not the hanger doors. For a minute there, I thought it was the hanger doors. No, I think it's probably to do with the midship somewhere. Anyway, there's your bridge. Right. So that's midships, that's aft, so they'll go like that, yeah, so that's probably sits there. Right. But the detail on this is quite nice. Nice and crisp, there's a bit of flash on there. It's going to take a bit of clean up. At this scale it's going to be difficult to do, but I would like to see it completed actually. Right, get in, do as told, get in. Right. Next we have a nice large sprue here, lots and lots of pieces on here. You've got more bulkheads here, what to do with the superstructure, another mast, screws, shafts, let me see, accommodation ladder, lights, signal lights, I'd have said guns, but I'm not sure actually, because they don't look like any guns I know. But there's lots of little bits and pieces here. There's a lot of flash, and hanger door. Now, what I can see is the stuff that's actually on the superstructure has got nice crisp moulding, but the other parts have quite a bit of flash on them, and the actual detail is soft. Now it's not very crisp, so there is a difference in the detail on anything that's not superstructure by the looks of it. I'll put that way in. I was going to knock that off, whatever it is. Let's have a look at that part. I think it might be part of the bell. Right. Then in here we have some more little bits and pieces. Right, anchor, harpoon, so yeah, there's 4 harpoon. You've got davits there, you've got ribs there, rigid inflatable boats as we call them, anchors away, 3-inch launchers. Okay. I think these are bloody life rafts. Oh my god. Right, rudders. Okay. Yeah, again, detail's a little bit soft on it, and there's actually on this sprue there's not as much flash as yours is on the other one. Perhaps it might just be that sprue, so it might be a mould for that sprue that's the issue. Right, then the last little sprue, which basically just holds a bit of the superstructure and One of the sterns, this looks like there's two versions of it. 54 it said before, yeah, nearly before. I'll have to look again. I think these are gonna, because obviously there's different 23s, so it could be Monmouth, Kent, and this this is Montrose. I suppose it depends whether it's had a towed array or not. Yeah. And that's just the sign for the stand, which is another funny thing about this kit that I've noticed. The stand is actually made out of Photo-etched instead of a plastic part. Right then, now we go on the glass. Not much here really to see. Glass is basically all the helos. So you've got two Lynx helicopters here. Like I said, I'm not sure whether the 23s actually did carry two. So I think they're skewer. So you've got two Lynx, two open rotors and two folded rotors. So you've got a choice whether you want stowed or not. I mean, it's wide clear parts, I don't know. Seems a strange choice. Anyway, so that's the Lynx, or Lynx, pair of Lynx. Right, then you've got the decals. In here, we had a quick look see. So, yeah, flight deck markings, ensign jack, pennant number, that goes on the funnel. And you've got a couple of screen doors by the looks of it. Stern pennant number. There's lots of little stuff that I can't really see. Oh right, yeah, okay, glimpse of the line. So that's about it really. Pretty minuscule decals, so they could be trouble, I'm thinking. I've never touched Trumpeter decals before, so I don't know how thick they are, whether they're thin like Cartograph, whether they're thick like Tamiya. So anybody knows, let me know, because forewarned is forearmed, as they say. Right, also we get in here, we get Photo-etched, which I've never touched before, so this could be very interesting. So there's the Photo-etched. A lot of stuff that goes around the mast. So there's a lot of stuff that goes around the mast. One thing that really, I suppose it does annoy me actually, is that one of the main features on a warship, or any ship really, is guardrails. And Trumpeters seem to, in fact also I think Tamiya do the same thing as well, they don't give you guardrails. Which it's like a face without eyebrows, you know? Right, so we've got the Photo-etched. It's quite thick, this Photo-etched actually. But yeah, any tips on Photo-etched, please get them in the comments, guys, because I have not done Photo-etched before. Right, and one little extra I bought, I did buy an aftermarket because I bought my eyebrows for my face. And these were like, from White Ensign, these were like $5, so yeah. Really, I don't want to take them out of there because they're so flimsy, it's ridiculous. But what you do get is you get 3-bar, you get 3 rail guardrails, 2 rail guardrails, and then you get the netting, which goes around the flight decks and the guns. Because when you're at flying stations, these guardrails will be down and act as safety devices, so that if anybody falls, yeah, they'll land in the net rather than over the side. Also, they're lowered in front of the guns as well, because you know it's a big open gap when you're actually firing the guns. So if the gun's going to be in use, you've got netting on there. I don't know if that's yeah, I don't know if they actually do that on the Montrose. Not in real life. They will do it on real life. But I'm on about, I wonder if it's if there's enough flight deck netting there to be able to put guardrails in front of the guns, so it looks more realistic. Because the 2-bar ones, I presume, are solid, which there's quite a few places on a warship that have got just solid rails around. Then you've got the ones that you can actually drop, and then you've got the flight deck ones. But anyway, this is like $5, so it's well worth the difference. Yeah. So all in all, actually, I am actually quite pleased with it. It will be difficult for me to do at this stage. So this may stay on a back burner for a little while until I get my skills improve. But wow, there's a lot in this little box. There we go. And the dogs. Oh, I was hoping the dogs would just hold off for 2 minutes. Right, get on. Right then. So there we go. That's a Trumpeter Type 23 frigate HMS Montrose in 1/700th scale. I hope you like the look at that. And it would be my first sort of like warship or any type of seagoing vessel. So I'm actually quite looking forward to it once my skill set improves a little bit more. So don't forget to put in the comments any tips you've got about doing these builds, especially doing stuff like Photo-etched. That'll be brilliant. Don't forget to like the video as well to help the algorithm, so more people get to see the video. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel to help it grow. And that's all for today, so I'll see you guys later.